Ligo para você quando chegar ao aeroporto.
I will call you when I arrive at the airport. I will call you when I arrive at the airport.
Ela decidiu ligar para a amiga para discutir as novidades.
She decided to call her friend to discuss the news. She decided to call her friend to discuss the news.
Você pode me ligar mais tarde? Estou ocupada agora.
Can you call me back later? I'm busy right now. Can you call me back later? I'm busy right now.
Eles convocaram a reunião assim que todos chegaram.
They called the meeting to order as soon as everyone arrived. They called the meeting to order as soon as everyone arrived.
Precisamos chamar um táxi para chegar ao evento a tempo.
We need to call a taxi to get to the event on time. We need to call a taxi to get to the event on time.
Ele pediu ajuda quando viu o fogo.
He called for help when he saw the fire. He called for help when he saw the fire.
Liguei para o técnico para consertar a máquina de lavar.
I've called the repairman to fix the washing machine. I've called the repairman to fix the washing machine.
Minha mãe sempre me liga quando está preocupada.
My mom always calls me when she's worried. My mom always calls me when she's worried.
O treinador chamou os jogadores para uma reunião do time.
The coach called the players for a team meeting. The coach called the players for a team meeting.
Vou ligar para o restaurante para confirmar nossa reserva.
I'll call the restaurant to confirm our reservation. I'll call the restaurant to confirm our reservation.
O professor chamou os alunos para responder a pergunta.
The teacher called on students to answer the question. The teacher called on students to answer the question.
Liguei para minha irmã para desejar feliz aniversário.
I called my sister to wish her a happy birthday. I called my sister to wish her a happy birthday.
A polícia foi chamada após o acidente.
The police were called after the accident. The police were called after the accident.
Preciso ligar para o banco para perguntar sobre o saldo da minha conta.
I need to call the bank to ask about my account balance. I need to call the bank to ask about my account balance.
Você deve ligar para o médico se não estiver se sentindo bem.
You should call the doctor if you're not feeling well. You should call the doctor if you're not feeling well.
Eles cancelaram o evento por causa da tempestade.
They called off the event because of the storm. They called off the event because of the storm.
Liguei para meu advogado para obter conselhos sobre o assunto.
I called my lawyer for advice on the matter. I called my lawyer for advice on the matter.
Ela está ligando para os amigos para organizar a festa.
She's been calling her friends to arrange the party. She's been calling her friends to arrange the party.
O professor chamou o nome do aluno para apresentar seu projeto.
The teacher called the student's name to present his project. The teacher called the student's name to present his project.
Ligo para você quando terminar meu trabalho.
I'll call you when I finish my work. I'll call you when I finish my work.
O policial pediu reforços no local.
The police officer called for backup at the scene. The police officer called for backup at the scene.
Ele ligou para a mãe para avisar que estava seguro.
He called his mother to let her know he was safe. He called his mother to let her know he was safe.
Tive que chamar um táxi para chegar rapidamente à delegacia.
I had to call a cab to get to the station quickly. I had to call a cab to get to the station quickly.
Precisamos ligar para um número de emergência em caso de acidente.
We need to call an emergency number in case of an accident. We need to call an emergency number in case of an accident.
Ela gritou o nome dele, mas ele não a ouviu.
She called out his name, but he didn't hear her. She called out his name, but he didn't hear her.
Liguei para verificar o status do meu pedido, mas a linha estava ocupada.
I called to check on my order status, but the line was busy. I called to check on my order status, but the line was busy.
Você deve ligar para seus pais e avisá-los que está bem.
You should call your parents and let them know you're okay. You should call your parents and let them know you're okay.
Os serviços de emergência foram chamados após o terremoto.
The emergency services were called after the earthquake. The emergency services were called after the earthquake.
Vou pedir ajuda se ficarmos presos no trânsito.
I will call for help if we get stuck in traffic. I will call for help if we get stuck in traffic.
Ela chamou seu cachorro para entrar.
She called out to her dog to come inside. She called out to her dog to come inside.
Eles estão chamando voluntários para ajudar no evento.
They are calling for volunteers to help with the event. They are calling for volunteers to help with the event.
Vou ligar para o departamento de atendimento ao cliente para obter assistência.
I'll call the customer service department for assistance. I'll call the customer service department for assistance.
Ele ligou para se desculpar pelo comportamento na festa.
He called to apologize for his behavior at the party. He called to apologize for his behavior at the party.
Minha avó sempre me liga para saber como eu estava.
My grandmother always calls me to check in on me. My grandmother always calls me to check in on me.
Eu a ouvi me chamar do outro lado da sala.
I heard her call for me from across the room. I heard her call for me from across the room.
Precisamos ligar para o mecânico para verificar o motor do carro.
We need to call the mechanic to check the car's engine. We need to call the mechanic to check the car's engine.
Ele ligou para o amigo para ajudá-lo a mover os móveis.
He called his friend to help him move the furniture. He called his friend to help him move the furniture.
Preciso ligar para minha mãe antes que eu esqueça.
I need to call my mom before I forget. I need to call my mom before I forget.
A previsão do tempo está indicando chuva neste fim de semana.
The weather forecast is calling for rain this weekend. The weather forecast is calling for rain this weekend.
Liguei para meu colega para discutir a atualização do projeto.
I called my colleague to discuss the project update. I called my colleague to discuss the project update.
Ele gritou o nome dela quando a viu caminhando no parque.
He called out her name when he saw her walking in the park. He called out her name when he saw her walking in the park.
Vou ligar dizendo que estou doente amanhã porque não estou me sentindo bem.
I'll call in sick tomorrow because I'm not feeling well. I'll call in sick tomorrow because I'm not feeling well.
A empresa está solicitando inscrições para o novo cargo.
The company is calling for applications for the new position. The company is calling for applications for the new position.
Liguei para minha amiga para convidá-la para o cinema hoje à noite.
I called my friend to invite her to the movie tonight. I called my friend to invite her to the movie tonight.
Ele ligou para o médico para marcar uma consulta.
He called the doctor to schedule an appointment. He called the doctor to schedule an appointment.
A polícia está solicitando mais testemunhas.
The police are calling for more witnesses to come forward. The police are calling for more witnesses to come forward.
Ela ligou para ele várias vezes, mas ele não atendeu.
She called him several times, but he didn't answer. She called him several times, but he didn't answer.
Vou ligar para a loja para perguntar se eles têm o item em estoque.
I'll call the store to ask if they have the item in stock. I'll call the store to ask if they have the item in stock.
As crianças estão ligando para os pais virem buscá-las.
The kids are calling for their parents to come pick them up. The kids are calling for their parents to come pick them up.
Liguei para confirmar os detalhes da nossa reunião amanhã.
I called to confirm the details of our meeting tomorrow. I called to confirm the details of our meeting tomorrow.
Ele ligou para nos informar que o voo estava atrasado.
He called to inform us that the flight was delayed. He called to inform us that the flight was delayed.
Você deve ligar para o hotel para confirmar sua reserva.
You should call the hotel to confirm your booking. You should call the hotel to confirm your booking.
Preciso chamar um encanador para consertar o vazamento no banheiro.
I need to call a plumber to fix the leak in the bathroom. I need to call a plumber to fix the leak in the bathroom.
Eles ligaram para o médico para verificar as condições do paciente.
They called the doctor to check on the patient's condition. They called the doctor to check on the patient's condition.
Ligo para você de manhã para repassar os detalhes.
I'll call you in the morning to go over the details. I'll call you in the morning to go over the details.
A professora chamou os alunos para participar da discussão.
The teacher called on the students to participate in the discussion. The teacher called on the students to participate in the discussion.
Tive que ligar para o serviço de entrega porque meu pacote foi perdido.
I had to call the delivery service because my package was lost. I had to call the delivery service because my package was lost.
Liguei para ela para perguntar se ela queria se juntar a nós para o jantar.
I called her to ask if she wanted to join us for dinner. I called her to ask if she wanted to join us for dinner.
Eles estão convocando uma greve nacional na semana que vem.
They're calling for a nationwide strike next week. They're calling for a nationwide strike next week.
Ligo para você assim que terminar meu treino na academia.
I'll call you once I finish my workout at the gym. I'll call you once I finish my workout at the gym.
Ela ligou para o irmão para pedir conselhos.
She called her brother to ask for some advice. She called her brother to ask for some advice.
As crianças estavam ligando para os pais para ajudá-las.
The children were calling for their parents to help them. The children were calling for their parents to help them.
Preciso ligar para a seguradora sobre minha reivindicação.
I need to call the insurance company about my claim. I need to call the insurance company about my claim.
Ele ligou para a chefe para informá-la de que chegaria atrasado.
He called his boss to inform her that he would be late. He called his boss to inform her that he would be late.
Vou ligar para o aeroporto para verificar se nosso voo está no horário.
I'll call the airport to check if our flight is on time. I'll call the airport to check if our flight is on time.
Ligamos para o hotel para marcar check-in antecipado.
We called the hotel to arrange an early check-in. We called the hotel to arrange an early check-in.
Ele ligou para me parabenizar pela promoção.
He called to congratulate me on my promotion. He called to congratulate me on my promotion.
A recepcionista me ligou para me avisar que meu compromisso estava pronto.
The receptionist called me to let me know my appointment was ready. The receptionist called me to let me know my appointment was ready.
Preciso ligar para a operadora de TV a cabo para consertar a internet.
I need to call the cable company to fix the internet. I need to call the cable company to fix the internet.
Ela ligou para o banco para perguntar sobre suas opções de hipoteca.
She called the bank to ask about their mortgage options. She called the bank to ask about their mortgage options.
Liguei para táxi para me pegar na delegacia.
I called for a taxi to pick me up from the station. I called for a taxi to pick me up from the station.
Ele ligou para a polícia quando ouviu barulhos estranhos do lado de fora.
He called the police when he heard strange noises outside. He called the police when he heard strange noises outside.
Precisamos chamar eletricista para consertar as luzes.
We need to call an electrician to fix the lights. We need to call an electrician to fix the lights.
Ligo para você depois da minha reunião para discutir os próximos passos.
I'll call you after my meeting to discuss the next steps. I'll call you after my meeting to discuss the next steps.
Ele pediu ajuda depois que seu carro quebrou na rodovia.
He called for help after his car broke down on the highway. He called for help after his car broke down on the highway.
O corpo de bombeiros foi chamado para apagar as chamas.
The fire department was called to put out the flames. The fire department was called to put out the flames.
Vou ligar para minha amiga para pedir conselhos.
I'm going to call my friend to ask for some advice. I'm going to call my friend to ask for some advice.
Os trabalhadores estão pedindo melhores condições de trabalho.
The workers are calling for better working conditions. The workers are calling for better working conditions.
Ela ligou para os pais para avisá-los que havia chegado em segurança.
She called her parents to let them know she had arrived safely. She called her parents to let them know she had arrived safely.
Liguei para o número, mas ninguém atendeu.
I called the number, but no one picked up. I called the number, but no one picked up.
Eles estão pedindo mais apoio para a instituição de caridade.
They are calling for more support for the charity. They are calling for more support for the charity.
Ele me ligou para me contar sobre a inauguração do novo restaurante.
He called me to tell me about the new restaurant opening. He called me to tell me about the new restaurant opening.
Preciso ligar para o veterinário para marcar uma consulta para meu cachorro.
I need to call the vet for an appointment for my dog. I need to call the vet for an appointment for my dog.
Os manifestantes estão pedindo justiça no caso.
The protesters are calling for justice in the case. The protesters are calling for justice in the case.
Ela me ligou para discutir o próximo evento.
She called me to discuss the upcoming event. She called me to discuss the upcoming event.
Vou chamar táxi para nos levar ao aeroporto.
I'll call a cab to take us to the airport. I'll call a cab to take us to the airport.
Pedimos reforços quando não conseguimos resolver o problema.
We called for backup when we couldn't solve the problem. We called for backup when we couldn't solve the problem.
Tive que ligar para meu supervisor, para esclarecer a tarefa.
I had to call my supervisor for clarification on the task. I had to call my supervisor for clarification on the task.
A empresa está pedindo voluntários para ajudar na limpeza.
The company is calling for volunteers to help with the cleanup. The company is calling for volunteers to help with the cleanup.
Liguei para perguntar sobre o preço do novo telefone.
I called to ask about the price of the new phone. I called to ask about the price of the new phone.
Ele me ligou só para dizer oi depois de muito tempo.
He called me just to say hello after a long time. He called me just to say hello after a long time.
Preciso ligar para o suporte ao cliente para resolver esse problema.
I need to call customer support to resolve this issue. I need to call customer support to resolve this issue.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and stay tuned for the upcoming episodes to keep improving your English. And remember, listening, practice, and improve.